Video footage from Jonathan Ross's cell phone has finally been released.
Change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen, former. You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the car.
Get out of the car.
Why did he walk in front of her vehicle? The video shows clear as day her doing this to the steering wheel. Why didn't he get out the way? Instead of him getting out the way, he walked up on the vehicle. Since the vehicle tapped him, he opened fire. I get he was recording to try to probably get the license plates, but he literally recorded a murder on his phone caused by him. Did she have to pull off? No, she didn't, but she was afraid. As you can see, this probably was his intentions all along.
Just like with George Floyd. We knock his... What? We gonna tear this motherfucker up. That's what the fuck has to happen. Does anybody know why we're given the Second Amendment right? Google it. It's to protect ourselves from a tyrannical government.
I can't speak for y'all, but he got me fired up. Like, come on, let's be real. In the past 48 hours, ICE has shot 3 people, unaliving one of them and leaving 2 left for dead. You got motherfuckers on the right laughing because a mother got shot in the face by ICE and taken away from her children. And you got people on the right saying, where's that same energy when Charlie Kirk got shot?
They go snatch the president of Venezuela, but our fucking president is a sex offender. Why are we not the White House dragging him out?
It's just a fucking shame that Americans cannot look at one another and realize that we're not the problem. The government is. This is no longer a black, white, or Latino issue. ICE has managed to unalive a black person, a white person, and Latinos. When will the American people actually come together and stand up to this bullshit instead of being divided as they want us to be? We have breaking news coming out of Portland, Oregon, when 2 people was basically left for dead by ICE agents. Portland police officers responded to a call for help, found a man and a woman with apparent gunshot wounds. The officers confirmed that the federal agents had been involved in the shooting. Homeland Security posted at 2:19 stating that U.S. Border Patrol agents were conducting a target vehicle stop in Portland, Oregon. They claimed that the passenger of the vehicle was the target and was a Venezuelan alien, and he was affiliated with Tren de Aragua. They claim that the driver of the vehicle is believed to be a member of the Venezuelan gang also. Now they're claiming when agents identified themselves, the driver weaponized his vehicle in an attempt to run them over. Fearing for his life and safety, the agent fired a defense shot. The driver drove off with the passenger fleeing the scene. Now if this is true and he only fired a defense shot, not plural, then how was 2 people found by the police damn near dead? Something don't seem too right about this story. Somebody lying, and unfortunately, the people that got shot, no one's gonna believe them. Now, for all you motherfuckers out there that's saying that was justified, that shit clearly shows you that shit wasn't justified. That wheel was turned. That vehicle was not about to hit that officer. Because if the wheel wasn't turned, after he did what he did, he would have got hit by that big ass vehicle. Then you got motherfuckers on here laughing about it like it's fucking funny. This is why ICE agents shouldn't be just blocking people's cars off while they're driving. Like, how's that shit even fucking legal? And because this woman, a resident of Minneapolis, Minnesota, lost her life because of it. And of course, a DHS spokesperson is gonna say that the driver used her vehicle as a weapon. Why? Because she was unlawfully pulled over for no reason? Or because she fit the profile of what they looking for? Like, this shit right here makes no sense and shouldn't happen in the first place. So the Prime Minister of Denmark urged Donald Trump to stop with the threats. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is insisting that the United States do need Greenland. Today, Caroline Levitt decided to post this. President Trump has made it well known that acquiring Greenland is a national security priority of the United States, and it is vital to deter our adversaries in the Arctic region. The president and his team are discussing a range of options to pursue this important foreign policy goal, and of course, utilizing the U.S. military is always an option at the commander-in-chief's disposal. Meanwhile, the Danish prime minister is like, why is there even talks about trying to take Greenland? You really have to ask yourself, why does Donald Trump want Greenland so bad? They say it's a national security priority. Soon we're gonna have the world not liking us if that hasn't already happened. This is literally coming days after they decided to go kidnap the Venezuelan president. Shit about to get crazy, man. I'ma say again, fuck no. Count me out.
Down. Oh.
You hear that motherfucker screaming?
Look at this. We're about
Count
to come down
me
off a 600-foot
out.
mountain. And here we go. Oh, high time. Wow. Here we go. Ready for the boom.
Do you hear that? That shit's speeding up. Maybe you're saying to yourself, maybe it's better in the back.
Wow. Here we go.
Count me out. The force on your face. Count me out. That's not even the worst part. That thing drops not once, but twice, picking up speed throughout the whole process. As I mentioned before, I don't even do that speed in the car. If you a thrill seeker, go try it out. But for me, count me out. So this motherfucker's back at it, but this time he's hinting about canceling the elections. Now this is being reported by Time. President Donald Trump on Tuesday, which is today, floated the idea of canceling future U.S. elections.
We have to even run against these people. Now, I won't say cancel the election. They should cancel the election because the fake news will say, he wants the elections canceled. He's a dictator. They always call me.
Now, we definitely heard that he mentioned cancel the election. Then he tried to switch it up and say that social media was going to attack him. But we know this is how he feels, because he mentioned it several times during that meeting. He's going to throw it out there and see if somebody bites. Meanwhile, most of the nation is waiting for these midterm elections. If the votes go right, his ass might be gone. But then again, like some people mentioned when they tried to impeach him before, the Republican Party blocked it. You truly have to ask yourself, what is best for the country? Keeping him in for another 3 years or getting him out? I know how I feel about it, but how about you? Finally, something this motherfucker said that I agree with.
You got to win the midterms. Because if we don't win the midterms, it's just going to be, they'll find a reason to impeach me. I'll get impeached. We don't impeach them. You know why? Because they're meaner than we are. We should have impeached Joe Biden for 100 different things. They are mean and smart.
I'm really hoping that the Democrats win the midterms so we can start this process to get this motherfucker out of office. At the rate he going, Greenland, Colombia, Mexico, they all gonna be invaded. We are on a crash course to World War III. These midterm elections are so important, so I hope you motherfuckers get out there and vote. All year, motherfuckers voice their opinions online. Now it's time for you motherfuckers to voice your opinions standing in line. Cause like you heard out of his mouth, if the Republicans lose the midterms, they gonna try to impeach his ass. At this point, I'm starting to believe most of y'all are trolls or bots, cause how in the hell can you say this is AI?
China will never allow the United States to launch a war against China, conventional or nuclear, without suffering devastating consequences.
Count me out. It might be time to pack and get the fuck out of Dodge. That right there is a direct message at the United States.
I hope Washington has learned the lesson. If you want to have war, you will get war. If you want to destroy China, you will be destroyed. If you want to impose nuclear war on China, you will be wiped out by nuclear war. This is very simple.
Look, China, I ain't got shit to do with this. Some of y'all might feel the same way. Look, from me to you, don't do it. It's a lot of innocent motherfuckers over here, including me. If you decide to do something, aim it for one place. That motherfucker is not hard to find. If this is AI or not, this shit is a warning regardless. Motherfuckers ain't just making shit just to be making shit. This whole situation, you can count me out.
I can't believe it. You can't believe it. Is this the reason why? Check this out. So y'all know what he was doing, right? He was mocking good old Donnie Boy. As we all know, Donald Trump loves this. Was that the nail in the coffin to make Donald Trump go invade Venezuela? To kidnap the president? Yeah, he had indictments from many years ago. But why did Donald Trump decide to do it now? After all other presidents, including the FBI, said, fuck this guy. It had to be the Dans. Now we all know that this is the third invasion that the United States has done for oil. Like, check the track record if you haven't. He said it was to make the people of Venezuela lives better. But I honestly truly believe it's just to make his pockets fatter. And the 1 percentile, that is. Either way, it looked like it's over for this guy because they already have somebody else in charge. Even though Donald Trump claims the United States is in charge. It's only the 5th day into the new year. This shit is gonna get interesting. At this point, I don't know what to believe. So I'm gonna let y'all be the judge.
If you want to have war, you will get war. If you want to destroy China, you will be destroyed. If you want to impose nuclear war on China, you will be wiped out by nuclear war.
Now this motherfucker right here came out guns blazing. Straight to the motherfucking point. But is this a direct message?
China will not fire the first shot, but China will not allow you to fire the second shot.
Is this a direct message to the Trump administration? Or is this an all-out message to the whole wide world? I mean, come on now. The last thing we want to do is go to war with China.
One of the weapons China demonstrated, we call it 61, because it can contain 60 nuclear warheads, plus 1 hydrogen bomb. Now, in the world of today, let me tell you, which country has hydrogen bomb? China is the only country with hydrogen.
Count me out. This guy said a hydrogen bomb. The last thing we want to do is go to war with China. And what would be the purpose for this war? But I'm so interested to know y'all thoughts. Do you believe this video was directed to us? And shit, when was this video made? Is it recent or is it old? This shit finna get crazy, man. This right here has been a crazy weekend. First, the United States bombed Venezuela. Then they captured the Venezuelan president and brung his ass back to the United States. Then the people in Venezuela are celebrating his capture. Then Donald Trump gets on national TV and basically let everybody know it was about the oil. Greedy motherfucker. But then China chimes in and says they need to let him go. And it's not only China. Russia also calls for his release. Ain't that some shit? You're probably wondering why. Probably because Donald Trump broke international law. But also tension is growing globally because of this incident.
Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro went from leader of his country to inmate in less than 24 hours. New video from overnight of him walking through Manhattan's DEA's office, handcuffed next to federal officers. Maduro is set to face a judge.
Come tomorrow, he'll be in front of a judge. While the Trump administration try to figure out how they can start pumping oil as soon as possible. An incredible start to the year 2026. Like, I literally can't wait to see what happens next. Now, I know a lot of y'all remember this. This motherfucker right here, the King Dakar, was ranked #1 in the world for being the most scariest roller coaster with a ranking out of 10 out of 10. But now these motherfuckers decided to make this.
Falcon's Flight. The 2.6-mile-long coaster stands 60 stories high. That's nearly 640 feet. That's about 180 feet taller than the previous record holder, New Jersey's Kingda Ka.
Count me out. That motherfucker say this is taller than the Kingda Ka?
Reaches speeds of 150 miles an hour.
I don't even do that speed in the car. Fuck no.
World's tallest freestanding drop tower, tallest tilt coaster, tallest pendulum ride, and tallest inversion on a launch coaster. Tickets for the park start at $87.
Tallest this, tallest that, count me out. And then the man said it costs $87 per person just to ride some amusement park ride. That price alone, count me out. Now granted, this is not built in the United States, but for all you roller coaster lovers out there that like to go everywhere just to ride roller coasters, if you go check this out, let me know what you think. I'm sure you motherfuckers haven't seen this.
It is against international law. Trump is insane.
I truly believe some people just figuring that out.
I am shocked, appalled, and I condemn the kidnapping of Maduro from Venezuela. Trump is a lunatic. You have removed a leader of the country and you are putting him on trial in the United States.
Now, to me, that don't even make sense. Putting someone on trial in a whole nother country. Who came up with this bright idea? This shit can only get interesting.
This be a warning for Africa and all African leaders. We need to invest in nuclear weapons.
That might be a good idea, because Donald Trump definitely don't like that N-word.
The Venezuelan people, my thoughts and prayers are with you. America wants your oil.
And that's also true. He did not deny that one bit. He said they gonna send them people in to get that shit working right, and then they gonna pump as much oil as they can. Mind you, this all gonna take place while they find another president. Count me out. Now we taking over other countries? According to Donald Trump, the United States is gonna run Venezuela. And this is how Venezuelans are feeling. They are literally over there having a party in the streets. Now let's talk about the real reason why the United States want Venezuela or want to run it.
Everyone knows the oil business in Venezuela has been a bust, a total bust, for a long period of time. They were pumping almost nothing by comparison to what they could have been pumped.
Yeah, this was the plan all along. Some would even say this man is a mastermind. You go send strikes on Venezuela early in the morning. Kidnap the Venezuelan president and his wife. Get up out that jam before it get jammed up. Then holds a news conference in Florida instead of the White House. You didn't think this shit was planned? Then you ain't thinking straight. Donald Trump is expected to address the nation very shortly after last night's attacks on Venezuela and capturing the president as well as his wife. And this took place around 1 to 2 a.m. in the morning when most of us was in the bed. Several U.S. strikes and bombings was carried out in Venezuela around 1 to 2 a.m. in the morning. And at that time, they were alleging that the U.S. had struck Venezuela, but now it has been confirmed. But the real question is Venezuela gonna respond back? And the only reason I'm saying that is because they went over there by force and they kidnapped this motherfucker. Everyone that was looking forward to midterm elections, it looks like it's not gonna happen. Remember when it was said the only thing that can stop an election is an act of war? There you motherfuckers go. Even the comment sections on some of these videos are just entertaining. This is how we're bringing in the year 2026? Starting a war with somebody else and kidnapping their president? This was definitely his plan all along. And I can go further with it, but I'm sure you know where I'm going. But as always, I would like to know what you guys think about this. How does this change the course of the nation? I'm sure in a few minutes we will be finding out. So yesterday morning in Minneapolis, Minnesota, there was an active shooter in progress at a Minnesota Catholic school. Robin Westman, who went by the name of Robert before the transition, unalived 2 kids, ages 8 and 10, and injured 17.
Minneapolis grieving tonight after a morning of horror.
They pulled over in a hurry, got out of the car, screaming, asking where their kids are.
A shooter opening fire on children at Annunciation Catholic School during a morning worship service marking the first week of school. Dozens of students were inside the church.
Now, Robert Westman attended this school and graduated in 2017. Now, before this attack on the school, Robert Westman shared a whole manifesto online, which currently the police are investigating at this time. Now, in the past 24 hours, this has been the fourth active shooter in Minnesota, as the police are still investigating to see if these shootings are connected. My thoughts and my prayers go out to all the families who were affected by this terrible tragedy. Like, when will this bullshit stop? First, Charlie Kirk got assassinated at a university in Utah, and then there was a mass shooting at Evergreen High School in Colorado. And as always, the suspect turned his weapon against himself and took his own life, but also injuring 2 people in the process. At 12:24 p.m. yesterday, there was a 911 phone call placed stating that there was an active shooter at the high school. Now, Evergreen High School is about 30 miles west of Denver. The high school immediately went straight into lockdown, as there were over 100 officers on the scene searching for that active shooter. At this point, kids are afraid to go to school because they don't know if a mass shooting is going to happen. This is the 47th shooting that has happened at a school this year. Now, at this time, the suspect's identity is still unknown. However, authorities are working to obtain a search warrant for the suspect's home to try to piece together why did this suspect go to school and then try to unalive his classmates. Make sure you stay tuned for more information as it becomes available. We have some breaking news. There's been another mass shooting, this time in North Carolina. 11 people were injured and 2 was pronounced dead. Now, a party attended by more than 150 people ended with gunfire erupting, killing at least 2 and wounding 11 in a rural area near Maxton, North Carolina, early Saturday morning. Maxton is located about 30 miles southwest of Fayetteville, and the shooting occurred at a large party on Dixon Drive during the early morning hours. Now, the sheriff states that there's no current threat to the community as it appears to be an isolated incident. Now, the identities of those who were unalive have not been released yet, but will be after their families have been notified. And they state all this happened around 3 a.m. in the morning. My thoughts and my prayers go out to the ones that were affected by this tragedy as mass shootings continue to keep happening in the U.S. Now, I know y'all remember this day, January 6th, but don't scroll. Listen to this.
If you look at the political violence in our country over the last couple of months, the last couple of years, it is not a both sides problem.
It's not.
It is primarily on one side of the political aisle.
You're right.
So, if we are going to truly go after the political violence in this country, we need the Democratic leadership of Washington, D.C. to look in the mirror.
He says out his mouth the Democratic Party needs to look in the mirror. But on January 6th, this was not the Democratic Party. It's crazy where he get this information from when you can easily search shit and see what's really what. And it don't even matter where you go search your information at, because it's going to all pop up the same. It's not the left side. It's the right wing. It's the Republicans. It's like when you put the evidence in a motherfucker face, they still decide to blame the other side. If actually doing research was a person and not just something somebody put in their mind. Man, the internet has been buzzing after seeing Erica Kirk and JD Vance together. And even some people think it was hints inside her speech.
No one will ever replace my husband. No. But I do see some similarities of my husband in JD and Vice President JD Vance. I do. And that's why I'm so blessed to be able to introduce him tonight.
Ooh, that smile got big.
Because he understands the fight that we're up against. And he can articulate that in a way that transcends. He's an amazing man.
I mean, I just have to ask, what fight are y'all up against? Especially since the guy that did what he did to you know who about a month and a couple of weeks ago is in jail standing trial. But don't they just look real cozy together? If the wife don't smell something fishy, she not sniffing hard enough. Now, I ain't no expert or nothing, but ain't that hand a little bit too low? Seems they have made theyself very acquainted with one another. So after emails from Epstein about Trump were released, people are now re-examining J.D. Vance's old tweets about Epstein. Back in 2011, he tweeted out, "What possible interest would the U.S. government have in keeping Epstein clients list secret?" Goes on to say that the DOJ and Maxwell lawyer have made a deal that her little black book of contacts will never be made public. Now, one of the emails state that Trump knew about the girls and that he spent hours at Epstein's house with one of the victims. But as always, Donald Trump went to the defense and said that the Democrats are trying to bring up the Jeffrey Epstein hoax again because they'll do anything to deflect how bad they've done with the government shutdown. He states that only the bad or stupid Republican will fall into that trap. But then there's been reports that Donald Trump has been reaching out to several Republicans trying to get them to not release those files. It seems like some of the Republican Party is starting to now separate from Donald Trump as it gets closer to releasing these files. So J.D. Vance's wife has been spotted not wearing her wedding ring. And of course, you know how the internet get already. Many people are assuming this is the reason why. Now, we all remember this intense hug that Erica Kirk and J.D. Vance once shared. And Erica Kirk even stated that her love language is touch. Or maybe it's the fact that she stated that they have some similar traits about one another when she stated that no one can ever replace her husband. Or maybe this was the icing on the cake when that hand went into that man's head. We all know how women feel about that. Now, a spokesperson is defending J.D. Vance's wife, stating that she gives a lot of baths and washes a lot of dishes. So this is the reason why she's not wearing her wedding ring, as she forgets it sometimes. Anybody else smell something real fishy? So I have to ask all the married women out there, do you take your rings off when you wash dishes? Or do you have a dishwasher that you use instead? Do you forget to put your ring back on if you do wash dishes? Something smell real fishy, man.
We are not going to be lectured about national security and American troops by Democrats and the mainstream media.
Now, when I heard that, I thought to myself, who else is going to lecture you about it? Why is it so hard for people just to admit that they messed up and own up to it? Why does it always result into people playing the blame game when some shit don't go their way?
Who turned the other cheek when the Biden administration, because of their incompetence, left 13 service members dead in Afghanistan. I'm
really starting to believe that Joe Biden lived rent-free in most of these people's heads. Because when something go wrong, the first thing that they want to do is start the blame game. Talking about previous administrations, what Joe Biden did, what Obama did, what about what y'all doing? It's a shame that this is going to continue to go on for days to come because people just can't step forward and admit that they messed up. I can't remember one time that President Obama or Joe Biden got up on a podium and blamed Donald Trump for some shit. And if I'm wrong, feel free to let me know. But as I always say, this is who y'all voted for.
When America is punched, he punches back harder. That's why there will be 104% tariffs going into effect on China tonight at midnight. But the president believes that she and China want to make a deal. They just don't know how to get that started. And the president also wanted me to tell all of you that if China reaches out to make a deal, he'll be incredibly gracious, but he's going to do what's best.
104% tariffs gonna go into effect tonight? Now, these are just a few things we get from China. Smartphones, portable computers, lithium batteries, toys, video games, etc. Shit, you probably got a shirt on right now that come from China. Your socks may be made from China. The fact that he's implementing these high-ass tariffs is only going to make it worse for the American people. The fact that he's trying to level the playing field is only hurting the American people even more. So if you're planning on purchasing anything, you better do it tonight, because we all know majority of everything comes from China and you don't want to get hit with those tariffs. But as I always say, this is who y'all voted for. So now they trying to get rid of us. And don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about, because I'm sure you do. But if you don't, look at this.
So the president has discussed this idea quite a few times publicly.
Yes.
He's also discussed it privately. You're referring to the president's idea for American citizens to potentially be deported. These would be heinous, violent criminals who have broken our nation's laws repeatedly. And these are violent, repeat offenders in American streets. The president has said if it's legal, right? If there is a legal pathway to do that, he's not sure. We are not sure if there is. It's an idea that he has simply floated and has discussed very publicly as in the effort of
So I say again, aren't America's most dangerous criminals already locked up? So basically get rid of the ones that they don't like, the ones they consider a threat, the ones that disagree with them politically, the ones who protest, the ones who speak up, or maybe they just want to strip people of their citizenship and then deport them. I guess you pretty much have to ask yourself is when is America going to wake up and realize that these politicians aren't joking? First it was deporting illegals and immigrants. Now they want to deport U.S. citizens. But hey, as I always say, this is who y'all voted for. So Caroline Levitt decided once again to feed the media some bullshit. Like I don't know how she sleep at night.
trust in President Trump.
You talking about this guy?
President Trump has incredible instincts, and President Trump kept America and the world safe in his first term as president.
Let's see. In his first term, he inherited everything from Obama. So everything was already peaceful. Then COVID hit the United States, and he told everybody it was a hoax to go buy some bleach. Yeah, he kept us safe.
In implementing a peace through strength foreign policy agenda. And with respect to Iran, nobody should be surprised by the president's position that Iran absolutely cannot obtain a nuclear weapon.
But are we going to talk about how Trump got us into 2 wars in the last 5 months? Are we going to talk about how Trump is leading us into a war now? Like we can't even trust this guy to not place tariffs on penguins. But then again, you shouldn't have to beg for trust if you're already trustworthy. I guess these people will believe anything. Man, I swear every time this lady move her lips, you can just smell bullshit.
The administration is fully complying with the court order. I just spoke to the president about it. The recipients of these SNAP benefits need to understand it's going to take some time to receive this money.
Now, why is it going to take some time to receive this money when it didn't take y'all no time to cut it off?
Because the Democrats have forced the administration into a very untenable position. We are digging into a contingency fund that is supposed to be for emergencies, catastrophes, for war.
Now, wouldn't you consider 42 million Americans going without food a fucking emergency? I mean, we're talking about veterans, disabled people, children, people that go to work but still can't make ends meet to get what they need.
The president does not want to have to tap into this fund in the future, and that's what he was referring to in his Truth Social post.
Now, why wouldn't he want to tap into something that's going to help Americans? He do realize that that money is for the American people and not for his own personal gain, not for him to build new ballrooms or to constantly keep going golf every weekend.
The best way to get the full amount of SNAP benefits to those beneficiaries is for Democrats to reopen the government.
And there we have it, the blame game. It's all on one party and not both, even though it's a stalemate. But this is what the American people wanted. Hey, motherfuckers, take a look at this.
What did the president mean when he called a reporter piggy?
Look, the president is very frank and honest with everyone in this room. You've all seen it yourself. You've all experienced it yourselves. And I think it's one of the many reasons that the American people reelected this president.
Let's be honest. Who the hell he think he is to call somebody piggy when he ain't too far from being piggy himself? Him downstairs talking about this is one of the many reasons why the American people voted him back into office. Try these motherfuckers wasn't using the old noggin. How about the fact these motherfuckers was just lost and that's how he got voted in? How about most of the men wasn't ready for a woman president? This is the reason why this motherfucker got voted in the office. If it was another man running against that motherfucker, I don't think he would have stood a chance. For some odd reason, people just didn't like Kamala Harris. So if we're being honest, the American people only chose him because they didn't have nobody else to choose. And again, they wasn't ready for a woman president. Ever since the aviation department has been dismantled, there has been airplane crashes reported almost every week. But reports show there has been a new airplane crashing in Toronto, an airplane traveling from Minnesota. Check this out.
There has been an incident involving a Delta Airlines flight into Toronto. Flight 4819 appears to have flipped over following landing. The Toronto Pearson Airport
Like this just keeps happening.
Saying, quote, emergency teams are responding. All passengers and crew are accounted for. The flight originated from Minneapolis.
First, I'm going to start by saying I am happy to report that there were no unalive people reported. But let's jump down this rabbit hole. Why does this keep happening? Remember, the aviation department has been dismantled since Trump got into office. So who's watching now? Why are there been so many reports of airplane crashes? Now, we're only in the month of February, but it seems like there have been reports of airplane crashes every week since this year has started. I really hope that they figure out something different from this.
Tonight, urgent evacuation orders in effect in the Carolinas after multiple brush and wildfires erupted, threatening homes and businesses.
Wow.
The Carolina forest fire near Myrtle Beach doubling in size overnight to 1,200 acres and still 0% contained. More than 30 agencies and 400 personnel supporting the firefighting effort. South Carolina's governor today declaring a state of emergency.
The governor declared a state of emergency today as over 175 wildfires blaze across South and North Carolina. From reports, over 4,200 acres so far have been burned. Now, most of the people from the area have been evacuated, but the cause of the forest fires are still under investigation. So far, there has been no reports of anyone being injured. A statewide burn ban has been issued as high winds worsen the conditions. Horry County was hit the hardest, with neighborhoods near Carolina Forest has been evacuated. As soon as more information becomes available, an update will be on its way. My prayers and thoughts go out to all the families out there. So did y'all hear about Brad Simmons, 67 years old, got put to death yesterday by a firing squad? Yes, this happened in South Carolina yesterday. Look at this shit.
South Carolina inmate was executed via firing squad Friday evening, the first such execution in the United States in 15 years. 67-year-old Brad Sigmund chose to be killed by a firing squad, which was legalized in South Carolina in 2021. However, lawyers representing Sigmund say he only chose that because of concerns regarding both lethal injection and the electric chair.
Now, if I'm being honest, I didn't even know that shit was still legal. That's a cruel way to go out. To prefer a firing squad over a lethal injection lets you know he didn't want to feel any pain. He wanted to go swiftly. Now, this man was convicted in 2001 for killing his ex-girlfriend's parents, and it took them almost 24 years to finally put that man to death. I don't even know what to say about that, but that's some crazy shit. Justice takes forever, but I guess we used to that shit. I don't know if wildfires are starting to be a new thing, but in West Hampton, New York, brush fires are sending fumes of smoke in the sky. If you think I'm joking, look at this. Multiple mass brush fires have engulfed Long Island, New York, which is near the Hamptons. More and more major roads are being closed while the firefighters try to fight the blazes.
Fire at its largest, which is now still burning, is 2 miles long and 2.5 miles wide. So far, we've had one injury, a second degree. We have a number of minor injuries, but an injury that required transportation to Stony Brook Hospital, to their burn center, a second degree burn on the face of one of our firefighters. Now, we all know that the Hamptons is the most expensive area in New York. Hopefully they're able to get these fires under control, while most of the New Yorkers are terrified. This marks multiple wildfires this year in the U.S. Everybody stay safe out there.